What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Starting off in local news, Taiwan's military has reported spotting a Chinese anti-submarine helicopter near its eastern coast. One Ka-28 chopper was sighted breaching the eastern side of Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. This was the first time this type of aircraft has been seen around eastern Taiwan. The ADIZ is not Taiwan's airspace. Instead, it acts as a security buffer zone where incoming aircraft must identify themselves. China often sends military aircraft into this area as a form of political pressure and to try to wear down Taiwan's defense forces. Taiwan is holding local elections on Saturday, and all eyes are on the race for Taipei mayor. Not only will the winner run Taiwan's capital, but some mayors have gone on to win the presidency. This year, one of the frontrunners is a former dentist and health minister. Louise Watt looks at his campaign.
The most high-profile candidate in Taipei's mayoral election is Chen, Taiwan's former health minister. He's standing for the ruling Democratic Progressive Party. The country's president has frequently been at his side on the campaign trail.
就是要陈时中，只有陈时中是我们最好的市长。有没有同意？有。
Chen says he wants to resolve traffic congestion in a tech hub district, build more social housing, and give new mothers more financial support. He's also talked about how he wants Taipei to keep pace with world-class cities.
台北是国家的首都，我们要更国际化，所以我要成立国际事务局，要培养具有国际专业的年轻人才。
But his campaign has suffered some awkward turns. One campaign video promising to install electric bidets in all of Taipei's public restrooms got panned for seemingly promoting voyeurism.
我当市长。
Chen has never run for government office before, but the pandemic pushed him into the spotlight. As health minister, he was a familiar and reassuring face on the nation's TV screens, and his popularity soared. But his COVID record may now prove to be his Achilles heel.
再见了，谢谢。
He stepped down as health minister to run for mayor in July, at a time when Taiwan was still dealing with a serious COVID wave. Observers say it's one of his challenges as he seeks votes in Taipei, which traditionally doesn't vote for the DPP but the opposition, known as the Pan-Blue Camp.
His reputation is directly tied to perceptions of how Taiwan's performance during COVID-19 was. There are people that view Taiwan as having done very badly, for example, particularly among the Pan-Blue Camp. That would be the view that, for example, vaccine purchases were not transparent, or that Taiwan purchased more in terms of price than other countries, or that Taiwan did not do anything and was very late in purchasing vaccines.
Another issue is that Chen's policies aren't so different from those of his main opponents, Jiang Wan-an of the KMT and Vivian Huang, an independent and former Taipei deputy mayor.
They actually often agree on what are the same issues facing each locality they're running. For example, a growing elderly population, or that young people don't have enough housing, or they can't afford housing, or transportation, for example. And so I feel it's almost much more about party ID, just which party which candidate belongs to.
If Chen does appeal to enough voters across party lines, a win for the DPP in Taipei would be huge. The party hasn't had a Taipei mayor for 24 years. And a victory for Chen would boost the ruling party ahead of presidential and legislative elections in a little over a year's time. Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
We'll have the final part in our series looking at the top 3 candidates for Taipei mayor tomorrow. The COVID pandemic impacted life around the country, and our reporter Bing Wang was interested whether it influenced Taiwan's politics as well, especially if it was used as an issue to help or hurt some candidates in the upcoming local elections. To learn more, he spoke to Wei Ting Yen, a Taiwan elections expert from Franklin and Marshall College.
What influence has COVID-19 played in the local elections this year?
So I would say that in most of the local elections, in most of the cities, COVID is actually not a major issue in policy debates. On the other hand, what we're seeing is most of the local elections, the policy debates are going back to what we usually discuss in local elections, such as housing policy, childcare, elderly care. I don't think there is a lot of change. I do not see any major changes in the way in which how people campaign. We still saw Chen Shih-chung had a big gathering, like parade last weekend, and we see candidates that are going to have major rally events this coming Friday as well. And so I don't really see there is a huge major changes from how campaign was run pre-pandemic.
Have the other Taipei City candidates used the pandemic to attack Chen Shih-chung?
I think in this Taipei's mayoral election, we mainly see that the other two candidates try to attack Chen Shih-chung for his handling of COVID-19. But particularly, I think their attack mostly is on vaccine purchase and the domestic production of Medicine vaccine. Vaccine also is one of probably the only one issue in the past 3 years that truly has been politicized.
That was Bing Wang speaking with Taiwan elections expert Wei Ting-yen, who is in the U.S. state of Pennsylvania. Police have busted an attempt to smuggle $10,000 worth of illegally logged wood from a remote forest in Taiwan's northwest. The trees belong to a rare species protected by law. As John Van Trieste reports, one suspect is in custody, but a second has fled into the surrounding mountains.
A police chase deep in Taiwan's mountains. There are rare and valuable trees here, and the truck's driver won't stop to let a police patrol check for smuggled wood. An officer filming the chase captures what happens next. The truck gets stuck halfway in a mountain stream. Police have to tow it out. One man in the truck is detained, but a second escapes. In the back, under a tarp, police find 3 tree trunks. This is Taiwan incense cedar, prized for its fragrance and hardness. It's an endangered tree and has the highest level of protection under Taiwanese law. Together, the trunks weigh over 2,200 kilograms. Each of the trees was over a century old.
嫌犯不从后加速逃逸，仍遭警方查获，价值约31万余元。警方并查扣该5台车辆等犯案工具。
The arrested suspect faces prison and a fine that could exceed $600,000. As police hunt for his accomplice, they are also working to uncover who the loggers plan to sell the tree trunks to. Forestry officials say they are stepping up efforts to tackle illegal logging.
森林护管员平日会进行领班巡视，会随时注意领班内可疑的人车，并于盗伐的高风险地区不定时的联合森林警察进行联合巡视跟深山特遣的工作。
But there are still those willing to risk getting caught. A 2020 Forestry Bureau report shows several dozen people are convicted of illegal logging each year, meaning there's no end in sight to the battle to protect the endangered trees of Taiwan's mountain forests. Andy Xue and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Now over to the World Cup in Qatar, where Japan completed an epic 2-1 comeback to upset 4-time world champions Germany. Japan found themselves down 1-0 after a penalty for Germany in the 33rd minute, but the Samurai Blue turned the game around in the second half with 2 substitutions. Replacement midfielder Ritsu Doan slotted home the equalizer in the 75th minute before fellow sub Takuma Asuno struck the winner from a tight angle. Japan's goalkeeper made 8 saves to help secure the victory for his team. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with drone views of Italian vineyards bathed in autumn colors. I'm Eric Gao. Take care and see you next time.